Eckhart Tolle is one of the best-selling authors in our time, with 10 million books sold of The Power of Now and 15 million books sold of The New Earth. He's also considered to be one of the world's most influential spiritual teachers. I read The Power of Now 10 times and these other books 5 times. I managed to uncover 5 best practices that Eckhart Tolle advises in order to be maximally productive. Let's go over the first one. All Eckhart's books and teachings revolves around the concept of now as the only thing we have. The past is just a memory trace and the future just a thought and anticipation we imagine right now. And that's right, the only thing that ever exists is you watching the video right now. Think about that. You will never get to the future because it will come as a now, but in a different time. So to be fully effective and fulfilled, Eckhart advises us to be present and honor what we see, hear and feel. If you don't think of anything else but this very moment, you'll be maximally effective. If you continue to do this all the time, the so-called future will be the best it can be. But being fully immersed in the now can be a challenge at first, which is what this next secret is all about. Most people think up to 6,200 thoughts a day. We have this inner commentator that constructs the story of our lives and is always concerned about what is going to happen next. But as we said before, to be the most productive, we want to be in the moment and not in our own virtual worlds. The problem is that if we try to not think, we put all our attention on that and start to think about not thinking. It's like trying to not think about the pink elephant. According to Eckhart, the solution is not to take your mind or your thoughts so seriously. You're not your inner commentator, you just treat it as a background noise. For example, if you live in the center, you hear a lot of traffic, but you don't think of it after a while since it's constantly there. In the same way, you can tune out this mental noise and instead pay attention to what you see, hear and feel. In my experience, you also want to forget what you think. Otherwise, you will cling to a lot of information on your head. The way to safely do that is to write this down in either your calendar, your task manager, or your note-taking app, so you can check them later when necessary. If you not take your thoughts seriously and forget everything you think or write them down, you can enter flow super fast and be maximally happy and fulfilled. So this constant practice should be your highest priority at all times. Work, family, spouse, etc. is secondary, because they will be greatly enhanced when you do this, combined with the next secret. While most religious practices has condemned our bodies, Eckhart Tolle recommends the total opposite: fully embrace and love our own bodies. In fact, to be the most present, feeling what Eckhart Tolle calls the inner body is highly beneficial. Prioritize what you feel right now. So why does this massage thing have to do with productivity, you might ask? Well, productivity is about doing more with less, and the less you can strain your body, the better. As ambitious creators, we have this tendency to be in our own heads, coming up with this big idea or whatever all the time. It's often too easy to be out of touch with our own bodies. And whenever we're out of touch, it's so easy to tense up, especially since we have all kinds of fears. These tensions combined with stress and pain depletes energy and makes us tired and ineffective, completely unnecessary. These heavy sensations, which is also the basis for negative thinking and actions, is what Eckhart Tolle calls a pain body, an entity that takes you over and makes you do irrational things. The key to mitigate that pain body is to once again be present. Notice your body sensations, accept the high stimulus inside you, and most of all, do not let the feeling turn into thinking. Whenever you hear that self-talk, bring back your attention to what you feel instead. Over time, you'll feel like you can move very gracefully and effortlessly with a light touch. There's this energy field that stimulates you to do the work or do the things that you want. And it all starts by feeling your body. In one of Eckhart's videos, he mentioned the Zen saying, hurry slowly, in which you can be very fast but also not stressed. This all comes down to your relationship with activity itself. If it's just a means to an end, you're unconsciously looking forward to one results into the future and not engaged as you can be. Conversely, if you embrace activity in itself, you will both enjoy it more and become faster since you release the tensions and know more what to do. In sports and music, a relaxed body allows for maximum speed. So next time you're creating, keep that in mind. Do not necessarily look too much forward when you ship the project, but pay attention to all aspects like ideation, first draft, recording yourself, editing, whatever. Then you have a reward right now and do not necessarily need the goal. And you can repeat this process again and again, and you will happily do so. The term surrender is often associated with weakness, giving up, or other negative aspects. But in reality, it's the complete opposite. Eckhart Tolle defines surrender as the ultimate acceptance. You don't hold any reservations to what's happening in this moment, but drop any resistance to it. It is by yielding to the reality that you can overcome it and make the best out of it. A way to escape your own self-created walls of fear and instead take action very quickly. So how do you surrender, you might ask? As you probably realized by now, all these 5 secrets ultimately come down to one practice again and again, constantly. Totally accept what happens and start loving here and now. To put it in another way, it's all about priorities. It certainly clicked for me when I realized that if I wanted to be my very own productive self, I must put my state of mind above all else, above the activity that I wanted to do at that time. Fully accept no matter what happens and start doing. And whenever that tense up, I pay attention again. So in sum, it's all about removing anything aside from here and now. Instead of always looking for the greener grass, appreciate the greenness of your own. Because as previously said, here and now is all you have. And as long as you keep all your attention to it, you'll be the most productive.